Hi everybody, I'm Bill Billingham from Channel 4's SES Who Dares Wins. These people need help, and we can say the governments have passed and now have failed us, and maybe they have. However, join our small team and get behind us and help us change this statistic. Unfortunately, a lot of these people are suffering. Many illnesses, but mainly PTSD. Get behind us, help us make a difference. Join us at Phoenix Heroes.
December 2018, three men amid the sights and sounds of Christmas arrive in London with one single purpose: to find veterans living rough on the streets and help them. The team will also sleep rough and comprises of one Royal Logistics Corps veteran, one filmmaker whose great uncle was the Mad Piper of Normandy, and one Parachute Regiment veteran. One SAS veteran will join the team on day 2.
And what our job is, and what we're trying to do, part of the remit of what we're trying to do, is actually find some veterans that are on the streets and find out what their story is, and actually highlight their own personal story.
We're going to find these veterans, we're going to let them tell their story, and we're going to try and spread awareness across the UK and gain that support that's needed. We don't know where this is going to go. It's the first time we've done it, so this is the first attempt, but we're hoping that the general public are going to get behind us.
The response from the general public would leave the team stunned. Parachute Regiment, SAS, standing together with Phoenix Heroes, veterans helping veterans, actions, not words. The search was on, the plan was simple: arrive in London, walk the streets, eat on the streets, sleep on the streets, find the veterans, film everything, find out why men and women who answered a call to serve are spending Christmas homeless and alone. Hour after hour, mile after mile, the sights and sounds of London, but no veterans are found. They are around. This has been confirmed by other homeless people, but as darkness falls, the team has yet to find one. Support from the general public is growing. Thousands are viewing live updates by the team across social media. And it was just after this broadcast that the team met a homeless man who told them something that left them stunned. Homeless veterans, despite their own situation, are taking care of other homeless people. They're using their military training to protect the vulnerable on the streets. This man is being helped by a veteran called Bob. Within a matter of a few hours, the team meets a young man who also confirms he's being protected by a veteran on the streets. A picture is emerging, and as the team bunks down in a shopping arcade for the night, the decision is made to search for Bob on day 2. Tuesday, 11th of December, the search is on to find the homeless veteran helping others. Messages are pouring in from members of the public, including one Parachute Regiment veteran. Anthony Malone, he's seen the Facebook live broadcasts and he's on his way to support the team. But before he departs his hometown of Cambridge, he buys 5 survival packs to hand out to veterans. Interest is growing. Public opinion is vocal.
I'll be honest with you, I've seen that past 4 years, or since the last recession, I've seen it increase probably fourfold. And I've talked to a lot of the guys here. Unfortunately, quite a few of them are Scottish as well, and many of them have been in the army, ex-army, and it's terrible. They've all got their own stories, you know, and a lot of them are just screwed up basically. You know, they've got on the streets, one thing left to another. They couldn't cope with Civvy Street. More should be done before they actually get on the streets. Never mind getting them off the streets. More should be done to, you know, like I've got family who have had post-traumatic stress for years, and these guys went through tough times, and the length of time it took them to get a psychiatrist through the NHS is mental. You know what I mean? And that's mental health is just basically secondary. There's a lot of lip service given with the government and you know, politicians and all that, but it's basically secondary to what they're trying to achieve because they believe they get no value out of them.
It was early afternoon when the team found Bob. Gary Stockton spent an hour talking to the veteran. Bob didn't want to talk on camera, but he was happy to be filmed.
Bob did his public duties, and for those people out there that know what public duty is all about, it's one of the most high respected things to do, but it comes with a lot of commitment and a lot of training, and this is what this man had. He had all that, he had everything, and I think that's what's rolled over onto the streets now, and he's passing his veteran sort of knowledge and everything. He's passing that, and he's looking after other homeless people. There's another homeless guy out there, and he's been homeless since 1984, unbelievably, and Bob has took him under his wing. So basically anything Bob gets, he shares it. If he gets a sandwich, he split it both ways. If he's getting funding, he'll make sure that his little buddy is being looked after. And when you're on the streets, it's not safe. It's not safe at all. You've got to do that buddy system, and that's what he's brought to the streets. He's brought the buddy system to the streets, and for a veteran or serving member, we know how important that buddy system is. Without it, you don't stand half a chance. And it's unbelievable, and that's just one. We've heard another story of another guy that's doing the exact same thing. So there's a pattern being set here. There's a pattern. The veterans that are homeless are helping other homeless. It's unbelievable.
Bob served with the Coldstream Guards. Afterwards, he had his own small removal van business, but fell on hard times and ended up homeless. He has been on the streets for 5 years. One day he found an Alsatian dog. He was almost strangled to death. He nursed him back to health and named him Harry. Bob has been offered a room, but it would mean leaving Harry on the streets. So Bob chooses to stay on the streets to look after Harry. Bob also looks after Taff, who has been on the streets since 1984. Taff told Phoenix Heroes, "Bob always looks after me. He makes sure I don't go without." Bob's dream is to have his own small camper home with Harry by his side. 30 hours of pounding and sleeping on the streets was what it took to find Bob, and on day 2 the team was joined by Phoenix Heroes ambassador, SAS veteran Phil Campion.
Well, foremostly, you know, I don't believe that any man that ever served his country in any capacity on the front line, or anywhere else for that matter, should find himself without a roof over his head and food in his stomach. That goes without saying for me. That's a given. That's not something that's a privilege for a few. That's something that should be absolutely there regardless. So there's a glitch in the system somewhere for this to be happening for the first place. When I look at, you know, guys on the streets, there's always a reason for one. But I think more importantly for me, the thing that's really letting everybody down is there's a lot of charities out there which are saying we do this, we do that and we do the other, and they do some tremendous work. However, they are sat on some charities are sat on huge cash reserves which could be getting fed into the smaller charities to help them actually achieve what they set out to do and help the man on the street. So when a geezer's sat in the pub and he puts his pound in the pot, he'll accept that there's probably 20, 30, maybe even 40 pence of that has to go towards an administration fee to sort things out. What he won't accept is that the rest of that money just sits there and never goes anywhere, because that is wrong.
I think the general public are very unaware. They see people living on the streets. They often may think that they choose to be there. They may have drink or drug problems or any condition, but it's not always the case. It's just simply they've suffered trauma in their life, predominantly defending this country whilst in the service, and now they're out and they find themselves very alone and needing help and support. And it's us, the citizens, who need to stand by them.
Actually having people on the ground, boots on the ground, it makes a big difference. We're able to speak to military veterans to get their side, their stories. Some of them are heartbreaking, but we're just doing a little bit, as much as what we can to help them on the streets. Cold weather equipment, courtesy of the Mountain Warehouse. A big shout out to the St. Neots branch. and we're just trying to make life a little bit easier on the streets of London for former military veterans.
Veterans helping veterans. The Phoenix Heroes team found one and they helped him. They celebrated by spending another night sleeping rough in London, an act of solidarity for Bob and his dog Harry. And they weren't alone. 100,000 views across social media during the 2 days and nights. And if you'd like to help, please visit www.phoenixheroes.co.uk and find the Just Giving page.
It makes me feel sick to the stomach, mate, what they've done for us and the way they're being treated. I've spoke to, as I've just told you, I've spoke to a few along Oxford Street over the last 12 months, and it brings tears to your eyes. What they've done for us in this country, and the way they've just been treated by our governments and thrown to the wayside, it really does, it's upsetting, mate.
Our aim initially, without planning anything and just coming straight onto the streets, was to raise awareness. We've done that. We know we've done that because of the feedback we're getting back from social media friends. Raise awareness to find a veteran. Yes, we found one veteran, but over 2 days we found one veteran. That means so much, and we're going to help him. So we've achieved it. It's been a big eye-opener for everybody involved in this little project that we've been doing. It's been a massive eye-opener. We've learnt so much, and obviously we're a PTSD organisation, but there's a link, there's a connection there. Mental health, homeless, there's loads of factors that apply to being homeless. If we've inspired other people around the country to do something similar at this time of year, yeah, Christmas, if you feel you've got to do something, then go out and do it. Simple. Just go out there and do something good. Right? You're not going to do anything wrong. You're going to help someone. Just do it. If you pass someone in the street, do something good. That's all you've got to do.